is race 5 of the season. We're here at the Spanish Grand Prix at the Circuit de Catalunya in Barcelona. Here for yet another, what I'm sure is going to be an absolutely cracking race here tonight. As per usual, we have a couple of the drivers in for a quick chat before we start racing tonight. We have Molina Coach in who races for AlphaTauri, and we also have JDM in tonight racing in the Mercedes. Missed the last couple of races, but he is back tonight. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, hello.
Hello. So JDM, I'll start with you. I mean, I know, as I said, you missed the last couple of races, but you've finished on the podium in both races that you've finished so far this season, in Australia and Bahrain. What's your hopes going into tonight? Are you hoping to continue that sequence going?
I would love to. I would love to get another podium tonight. Now that Kyle and Drappy, or he changed his name to me, Earl, that they've been taking podiums. I know that Mercedes is on podium every race. I would love to have a Mercedes 1, 2, or 3, or 2, either one. I don't know if I can get a podium at this racetrack. This is one of my favorite racetracks of the season, but I'll try my best.
Yeah, definitely. And your teammate is, you were talking about your teammate Drab, he's up there in third in the championship at the moment. He's 17 points off the leaders. Are you going to try and maybe help him out a little bit if you can get in front of Kyle and hold him up for a bit? Are you going to try and do that? A little bit of teamwork?
Yeah, definitely. I'm not sure if I can catch up in the championship. I mean, it's a long ways to go. There'll still be other DNFs and stuff for people who are up front. But if my teammate's up there and he needs some help, I'll go and give him that help. It's most important is the constructors, and at least one of them are fighting for the title.
Excellent. Well, I hope you have a good race, mate, and I'll hopefully talk to you later on. And moving on to Molina Coach, in the AlphaTauri tonight, you've had a good championship so far. You're on up to 30 points so far this season. What's your hopes going into this race? Do you like this racetrack?
Yeah, honestly, I like this track. I like all of them, I think. I always try to look positive on the next races. As you know, we've got very fast drivers here. You never know what happened. And yeah.
Yeah, and as well, so far this season, you've made it into every race you've competed in, you've made it into Q3 as well. Are you hoping to keep that record going tonight as well?
Yes, of course, you know. I am one of the best, you know. No, I'm just joking. Yeah, I would love to go through Q2 on medium tires, and then we'll see what happens.
Excellent. Well, I hope you have a good race as well, mate, and I'll hopefully talk to you later on.
Yeah,
as well.
Thank you, mate. Thank you.
No problem. So, there's a couple of our drivers, and we just very briefly mentioned the World Championship situation. Just to update you on that, after the previous race at Zandvoort, Kyle, after his race victory, he goes into the World Championship lead with 93 points. He is 11 clear of Lewis in the racing point, with Drab a further 6 points back. Real Joker's had some very consistent races so far this season. He's up to 56 points in 4th in the championship, but it's very close between him, White African in the Alfa Romeo, and also Ross in the second Renault. They're separated by just 6 points, and also a very close battle down in the mid part of the World Championship table. We've got Steve, Vital Oxygen, Aaron Marr and Molina Coach. So that's the Alfa Romeo, the Ferrari and both AlphaTauri separated by just 1 point so far. I know it's very early in the season, but that could be quite an interesting battle to keep an eye on this evening. In the Constructors' Championship, Renault currently lead that by 27 points. They're on 144 points. Mercedes are second with 117. So keep an eye out on that battle. We just heard from one of the Mercedes drivers there, JDM, hoping to help his teammate out as much as he can and get as many points as they can. Racing Point sits in 3rd place. And then we've got an almighty scrap for 4th in the Constructors' Championship. We have 6 teams separated by just 18 points. They are Red Bull, Alfa Romeo, Ferrari, Williams, AlphaTauri and Haas. So Red Bull on 72, Haas at the bottom of that pile on 54. It's very, very close in that battle for 4th in the Constructors' Championship. McLaren a little bit adrift at the bottom of the championship with 35 points, but hopefully they can have a good results tonight and get some extra points onto the board. So we are streaming live on Twitch. So anyone on the Twitch chat, I will get to as many as I can. So if you have any questions or comments, please do put them in the Twitch chat and I'll get to as many as I can throughout the season, throughout the evening. So we're just going to wait now a couple of seconds for the drivers to ready up, and then we will be ready for the first part of qualifying. 3 parts of qualifying, 18 minutes for the first session. We lose the slowest few drivers to get into Q2. And you can see the drivers starting to ready up. Just as I said, anyone watching on the Twitch stream, if you've got any questions or comments about the league, please do put them in to the Twitch chat, and as many as I can throughout the evening. Great to have so many of you already on board with us for tonight. So as I said, we've got a 3-part qualifying session. And also as well, there will be a driver of the day poll for you later on in the race as well. 50% race. It's, in terms of laps, the longest race of the season so far. We're going to be 33 laps. And Tom N on the Twitch chat says Lewis for the win. Well, Lewis, he's been very, very consistent so far this season. So I can't see any reason why he can't win. Aqua Ninja's Meatball Man. Yes, Meatball, by the way, for anyone who's been watching the last few weeks, Meatball is Drab. He has changed his gamer tag. And also Spinalla URL, that is Steve. Changed their gamer tags so far. So just waiting now for, that is Drab, waiting for him to ready up. And Steve, we say no to Kyle's hat-trick. Yes, Kyle's won the last 2 races. Can he make it his 3rd race win in a row here tonight? And it appears that there is a bit of a problem here. So hopefully we can get this qualifying going as quickly as possible. Drab, I don't know if you're watching, mate. You might need to leave and rejoin because it appears to be your... It appears to be your thing that isn't loading in. Ah, here we go. Hopefully we're going to be underway. Here we go. We're underway now. So as I said, 3-part qualifying session. 18 minutes for this first session. There's 19 drivers in the race tonight, so we're going to lose the slowest 4 from this session. And the top, sorry, there's 18, so we're going to lose the slowest 3 from this session. And the top 15 will go into Q2. So maybe everyone watching on the Twitch chat, give me your predictions. Who do you think is going to snatch pole position tonight? Staffy Lover go, Molina. And Walshy, come on Lewis. So we've got some fans in already for some of the drivers tonight. Here's one of the cars is about to ready up. Liam Kay, Lewis for the win. As one of the Mercedes is heading out on the racetrack. And it appears to be Meatball. It is indeed. I will do an onboard lap with you as well so you can see this racetrack. Staffy Lover, Molina P6 in qualifying and P3 in the race. So we've got a prediction there for Molina to get a podium here tonight. And as I said, I will do an onboard lap with you around this Barcelona circuit so you can see the racetrack. One of the older racetracks now that hasn't really been changed for quite a few years. And it's an old style racetrack as well, quite narrow, and it's got grass and gravel on the exit of the corners as opposed to a lot of tarmac runoff areas that we see nowadays. So any mistake by the drivers is quite heavily punished, and quite often see them out of the race, or at the very least losing a lot of time. So we're gonna do the onboard lap with Meatball. I hope he doesn't invalidate the lap as a result. We sometimes see that. Bit of a commentator's curse. But just so you can see this racetrack and just how challenging it is. The pre-season testing's been done here a lot over the last few years because there's such a variety of corners around this racetrack. So here is Meatball now starting his lap. This is the last corner. DRS over there, and then building up with the DRS open and in qualifying mode, building up to over 200 miles an hour as he comes down to the first chicane, over 200, down into fourth gear, 105 miles out through turn 1, turn 2 about 120, then turn 3 is flat out these days, all the way through, long right hand up, and then keep it over to the left hand side for turn 4, you think down to fourth gear, 95 miles an hour on the apex, then it wander to the outside, then bring it immediately over to the right hand side for the slowest corner on the or one of the slowest corners on the track, 60 miles an hour, turn 5, just missed the apex there, then coming up to this quick chicane, here 110 miles an hour, fourth gear, then turn 7, then look at this Capta, absolutely flat, 165 miles an hour on the apex, second DRS zone here, heading down, bring it over to the right hand side, this is the Capta, down to just 50 miles an hour, slowest corner on the circuit, turn 10, then turn 11, flat, turn 12, Bank Sabadell, 80 miles an hour, let it wander again to the outside, then into turn 13, 85 miles an hour, then into this very tight final chicane, 55 miles an hour, 65 in the second part, and then the last corner, absolutely flat, even in the race conditions, is absolutely flat, and across the line, and he goes quickest, a 1:15.7. Liam Kay on the Twitch chat. It's what game is this? This is F1 2020, mate. And Staffy Lover, I've been racing with Molina today. He's looking very quick. So hopefully for him, he'll have a good race. Aqua Ninjas has gone second. Molina's gone third. White African goes up to second. A 1:16.4. Let's see who else is on that. Real Joker here in the Red Bull as Adam Woods in the McLaren goes up into third place. A 1:16.6. Let's see how Real Joker's going to get on. We've got one of the Haas cars about to cross the line. That is Jack Thompson. Let's see where he jumps up to. Oh, he's had his lap disallowed by the looks of it. So here is Real Joker through the last chicane. So easy to have your lap time disallowed around this racetrack. But Real Joker now goes across the line and he moves into 6th position. A 1:17.5. Lewis here in the Racing Point. Coming through turn 12, he's had his lap disallowed. So here is Maglox in the Ferrari. And he also had his first lap disallowed. So has JPL Bailey. As I said, so easy around here. Jack Thompson's had his lap disallowed as well. So here is Steve in the Alfa Romeo. He's on his out lap at the moment. So order at the moment is Meatball. Steve Daly Mario Kart. No, not quite Mario Kart, mate. But the order at the moment, Meatball from Mackenzie in the Haas. He had a great debut in the previous race. Came home in 4th position in the Haas. White African is 3rd. Adam Woods 4th. Ross is 5th in the Renault. Real Joker is 6th, Aqua Ninjas is 7th, Molina Coach is in 8th position. Those are the only cars to have set a lap time so far. Steve just starting his lap in the Alfa Romeo, has not scored since China. Scored a podium back in Australia, if you remember. Failed to score at the next race in Bahrain, and then again failed to score at Zandvoort last time out. Brought home some points in China. So he'll definitely be looking to get some points on the board here this evening. JDM also on an outlap now as well. As I said in the build up to the race, he has scored a podium in the 2 races he's finished so far this season. Was top of the championship, but has had to miss the last 2 races, so he'll be back trying to get back onto some good point scoring form this evening. For those of you watching the stream for the first time, we've got a slightly different point structure to what is normal in Formula 1. Everyone who finishes the race gets a point, and you also get a point for fastest lap in the race, and you, wherever you finish, whether it's in the top 10 or not, and also a point for getting no penalties throughout the race. As Steve goes up to 6th position, a 1:17.0. Let's see how JDM is getting on. He's just going through turn 5. Vital Oxygen is also on a lap. He's just going through the hairpin as well. Kyle, the winner of the last 2 races, he's out there on track as well. He'll be certainly looking to keep this good form going. Did always had this lap disallowed, ran a little bit too wide coming through that flat right hander at turn 9. So he's had his lap disallowed. Out of the 4 races so far this season, he's had 3 pole positions. It was only last time out he was picked to pole position. So he'll be looking to right that this evening if he can. As JDM moves up to 5th, a 1:16.8, so good lap for him. 23rd Nebula out there. Let's see what he can do. See what he can do in the Red Bull. Maglox is out on track as well, so is Bailey. Aaron Marr in the... Oh, and that's 23rd Nebula spun at turn 9. Took a little bit too much curb, and he spun on his qualifying lap. So that is this first lap ruined for him. Let's see, and Aaron Marr's had his lap disallowed. Let's see what Kyle's doing on his second attempt at qualifying lap. Little bit wide at turn 9, but just about got away with it. Can he get himself up? We know him and Meatball have had some brilliant fights in qualifying so far this season, and again also in the races. And those two are certainly looking like they could be contenders for the World Championship this season. And let's see what Kyle does as he goes through the last corner. And he goes second quickest, just a little bit slower than Meatball. A 1:15.8, so a good effort from him. Aaron Marr's had his second lap disallowed. Bailey's just starting another lap. Maglox is on a lap now as well in the Ferrari. So he is currently on 28 points. So I was saying earlier about the battle between Steve and Vital Oxygen and the 2 Alpha Tauris in the Drivers' Championship. Maglox is only a few points behind them, and Ferrari are in that big battle for 4th in the Constructors. They're 6th at the moment, just 5 points behind Red Bull in 4th place, and he's abandoned the lap, has Maglox. He has completely abandoned the lap. And Bailey on a slower lap. Let's see what Jack Thompson is doing in the Haas. He's out there again on another set of tyres. Oh, and he's off the track at turn 4. That is Jack Thompson off the racetrack at turn 4. So I was talking to him earlier on in the week, and he's not looking forward to this racetrack. So it could be one of his weaker tracks of the season. And, and a little bit of oversteer there going through the quick chicane. So we've still got 4 drivers yet to set a lap time. 23rd Nebula, Maglox, Aramar and Jack Thompson. Aramar going back out on track right now. The order at the moment is Meatball from Kyle, Mackenzie 3rd, White African 4th. Adam Woods is 5th, JDM is 6th, Ross in the second Renault is 7th. 8th for Steve in the Alfa Romeo, Vital Option is 9th, Real Joker is 10th, Action 11th, the leading coach is 12th, Lewis 13th, JPL is 14th, Williams and JPL they're 14th, Jack Thompson 15th. He did complete the lap time, but quite a lot slower at the moment after that mistake before from him. He'll be going again. So here is 23rd Nebula. He's also been pretty confident going into this week. He does like this racetrack. We've got 6.5 minutes to go of the session. As I said, the slowest 3 will get knocked out of this session. Oh, and he's gone. That's 23rd Nebula gone at turn 3. Clearly seems to be struggling with a little bit of oversteer with that car, but he's gone off at turn 3. And that's the end of this run, you would think, for him. Unless the tyres aren't too badly damaged, he might be able to just coax them round slowly and try and get another lap out of them. He's got just under 6 minutes to go. So hopefully he'll be able to do that. Here is Aaron Marr in the Alpha Tauri. His teammate sat in 12th position at the moment. So he'll be certainly looking to try and get through to again. Maglox is on an outlap as well in the Ferrari. So Adam Woods is back out as well in the McLaren. He's already set a lap time, but he's gone out with the same set of tyres. He's not wasting another set of tyres. He's going to see if he can improve on his lap time. 5th at the moment. The 1:16.6. He'll go to lap 10th. Oh, and that's Aaron Marr gone. And Adam Woods gone, and Adam Woods is out of the session. He's smashed the car coming out of turn 9. We've seen a few cars struggling there, and Adam Woods is out of the session. So even if he does make it through, he's going to be qualifying just 15th. Maglox has his lap time disallowed. Aaron Marr's diving in the pit. He also had his lap time disallowed. And Real Joker's also had the same thing. So we've got 4.5 minutes to go. And drivers are really starting to struggle on this racetrack, it seems. So Adam Woods crashed in this session. He's done a lap time that's quick enough for 5th. But with the car out of the session, even if he makes it through, the best he'll do is 15th on the grid. Adam Woods. Let's see if we can get him in for a quick chat, get his point of view. JTM's retired from the session. I think he's in the pit lane. So he's also done enough. Let's see if we can get Adam Woods in and get his point of view on that. Real Joker's on another lap. So is Maglox as well in the Ferrari. We've got 3.5 minutes to go of this first part of qualifying. And at the moment, the car's out of the session at 23rd Nebula, Maglox and Aaron Marr. They've yet to set a lap time. Real Joker's improving slightly on his previous best. Let's see what Maglox is doing. Good evening, White African. Great to have you watching as well, mate. And, up in 4th place at the moment. With that right now, Connor. Great session for you so far. Yellow flag in sector 3. Not quite sure what that was about, but let's see where Maglox can go. Has had some good qualifying pace. Has been up in the front qualification this season. Let's see what he can do this time. He goes he's up into 5th place. So good effort from him. Aaron Mars on his out lap, still waiting for 23rd Nebula to get back out on the track again. 2.5 minutes to go. I know Simon will be very disappointed if he doesn't make it through. If he was feeling particularly confident down here. Aaron Martin in the AlphaTauri. He's only going to have 1 or 2 laps of this. He's got a massive margin for error. As he comes through the last corner to start his next flying lap. Just looking to see, there is still no sign of 23rd Nebula leaving the pit lane. So it does appear that he's leaving it right to the last seconds. Have to head out soon. Jack Thompson's on a lap as well. And he's found 3. Oh, he's had his lap disallowed. He's 3 seconds up on his best. And a little bit wide in that last chicane. But that lap time was a 1:19.5. So yeah, I think we backed out of that one a little bit. And JPL still on the same set of tyres. He's done 4 laps so far on these tyres, and he has found nearly 0.4 of a second on his best in the first sector. So that would lift him ahead of Lewis. 23rd Nebula is now out on racetrack. He's going to have a bit of a push to get it across the line. We've seen him do this a few times. Leave it right to the last second to set a lap time, and just about makes it through. Let's see how JPL's doing on this lap. He's a 1/4 of a second up. Aaron Mark going to cross the line. Let's see where he goes. He moves into 13th place, right behind his teammate. So here is JPL Bailey coming through the last chicane. Can he move up from his current 16th? He's out of the session as things stand. And he doesn't improve. He does not improve his lap time. Jack Thompson's had another lap disallowed. So he's got 1 more attempt at this with the last few seconds of the session to come. Here is 23rd Nebula. It's going to be tight. He's down to the last 10 seconds coming through the last corner. I think he'll just about start his lap time on time. Yeah, with a few seconds to spare, but just 1 attempt at this right now. Oh, and Jack Thompson's out of the session. He's gone off somewhere, I think. But Jack Thompson is out of the session. He's going to start down at the back. Here comes 23rd Nebula. He's got to get his lap time in now. Aaron Mark, I think, is back out of it. Yeah, he's not on such a good lap. JPL Bailey isn't either. So, at the moment, 23rd Nebula is all on you. Session is now over. People still on laps can complete their lap times. Can he complete his lap and get himself into Q2? As I said, he's very, very confident about this race here this evening. Really likes this racetrack. He's made had a couple of spins already qualifying. Luckily, he hasn't damaged the car. As he comes down into the last chicane, he's got to get into the 1:18s. Low 1:18s to get himself through. And he goes 13th, a 1:17.8, so he just about, in the last second, gets himself through. So the cars out of that session, Lewis, JPL I Bailey and Jack Thompson. Those are the 3 cars not through, and Lewis is the big shot with that one. We've seen him be so consistent so far this season, but Lewis is out in the first part of qualifying. Let's see if we can get him in for a quick chat. There you see confirmation. Meatball from Kyle, Mackenzie 3rd, White African 4th, Maglox did well in 5th place, just ahead of JDM. Then it's Ross from Steve, Vital Oxygen, Real Joker 10th, Aqua Ninjas 11th in the Williams. Then it's Melina Coach in 12th, 23rd Nebula 13th, just ahead of Aaron Marr in 14th. Adam Woods He's through, but will start 15th after retiring the car. And there we see the 3 cars out. Let's see if we can get Lewis in for a chat. Because that is surely the big shock of the session. 16th on the grid only for Lewis after being so strong so far this season. As I said, he's up there in 2nd in the World Championship table. So that's not the result he would have wanted at all. Into Q2, we lose 3 minutes off the time. So we're down to 15 minutes for this session. And only the top 10 can go through into Q3. But in this session, only the cars, whatever tyres they set the quickest lap time on, the top 10, those are the tyres they start the race. You quite often see cars going for different strategies, and you can see already a lot of cars trying to get through on the medium tyres. Akman Ninja's very, very happy he's made it through into Q2. So well done there, mate. And Staffy Lover, let's watch Molina. Okay, we'll try and get on board with him at some point as he goes through. He's out on track now, is Molina. So what the viewing public wants, they get. There is Molina coach in the AlphaTauri. Oh, he's gone straight off at turn 4. Bit of a commentator's curse there, sorry mate. But yes, every race he's competed in so far this season, he's qualified in the top 10. So he'll be definitely trying to keep that record going. And as he said earlier on, hoping to get through on the medium tyres. The medium tyres around here, they are a little bit slower. They give you so much more options for the race. The soft tyres, they are wearing out with these long left-handers that we've seen around the racetrack when we did the onboard lap. So turns 3, 4, this one here, for example, it does wear the soft tyres out very, very quickly. They're not lasting that long. So if you get through on the medium tyres, it will give you such an advantage in the race. So let's see how Molina Coach is getting on. Real Joker is out on the soft tyres in the Red Bull. He's the first man through. We've got both AlphaTauris out pretty much together. Kyle is out, current World Championship leader. He's out, just started his lap. And immediately Molina Coach had his lap disallowed in the first couple of corners. So unlucky there. Let's see how Real Joker's getting on down into turn 5 at the hairpin. And there's yellow flag in sector 2. I think that's just Molina Coach getting out of people's way. Now he's had his lap disallowed. Pretty much everyone out on track, apart from 23rd Nebula, Meatball and White African. But everyone else is on track, and only 2 of those are on the soft tyres. So it's this man we're watching right now, Real Joker, and also Aaron Martin, the AlphaTauri. They're the only 2 at the moment on the soft tyres. And so everyone else trying to get through on those medium tyres. With the medium tyres, you should be able to do a one-stop strategy. The soft tyres will be pretty much guaranteed a 2-stopper. Real Joker, 1:17.3. There is Aaron Marr. He's going to go across the line next, 1:17.7. As Kyle goes quickest on the medium tyres at 1:16.4. Here is Steve in the Alfa Romeo coming through the last corner. Also on the medium tyres. Let's see what he can do. He goes second. That's a good lap time. A 1:17.0. Ross has gone 4th. And now Vital Options gone 5th. Here is JDM. As Maglox goes quickest, a 1:16.2. That's a good lap time on those medium tyres. JDM goes 5th. Here comes Mackenzie. He goes 3rd. Molina Coach now in the other AlphaTauri. He has stayed out on those medium compound tyres. He's going to try and do another lap. There is Akman Ninjas in the Williams. So a little bit of traffic there for Molina Coach. It's the Alfa Romeo of Steve. Hopefully Steve will see him behind him. It might just help back Molina Coach here. A little bit of slipstream. Steve moves nicely out of the way. And that is a Renault, I think, in front. I think that's Ross. Also on an in lap. So let's see how Molina Coach gets on. Out into the last couple of corners. Hopefully Ross isn't too much of a distraction as they go through the last chicane. Ross peels off into the pit lane. Let's see where Molina Coach goes. Teammate is 9th at the moment. Molina Coach goes up into 8th place. So 1:17.6 for him. Aqua Ninjas has gone 11th. Here is 23rd Nebula out on racetrack now. Meatball and White African, the only other two cars yet to set a lap time. They are now out on track on their out laps. Oh, there's a Ferrari off, and it's Vital Oxygen down turn 2. That curb on the inside, it does spin the car around into a spin if you're not too careful. And Vital Oxygen just caught out, but he has already set a lap time. He's 9th quickest at the moment. As I said, don't forget, only the top 10 make it through into Q3. So let's see what's Devlin can do through the last chicane. And then comes down to cross the line. Can he get into the top 10? He doesn't at 1:18.2 for him. May have to throw a set of soft tyres at this. So Meatball, White African are the last two to set a lap time here in Q2. Maglox is currently quickest. And I have to say that will probably surprise quite a few drivers there. The pace of that Ferrari on those medium tyres. Quicker than Kyle Maybon in the Renault. Mackenzie 3rd, also looking quite quick as well. Steve is 4th in the Alfa Romeo. Real Joker 5th for Red Bull. 6th for JDM. 7th for Ross. Molina Coach 8th. 9th for Vital Option. Aaron Marr 10th. We're going back out on racetrack now. As Meatball goes quickest on the mediums, 1:16.2. Good lap time for him. Let's see what White African can do. Can he get into the top 10 as well? He doesn't. He made a mistake somewhere on that lap. A 1:22.3 for him. Molina Coach has stayed out on these tyres, and he's a 1/10.5 up on his previous best in the first sector. He could possibly move up a place with this. He's about a 10th up in the middle sector, so it might just get him ahead of Ross. But he may be one of those cars that might just have to look at going out on a set of soft tyres to make sure he gets through. We've got 7 minutes, just over 7 minutes to go in this session. And Molina Coach now coming through the last chicane, a bit of oversteer there. Let's see what he does across the line. Does he improve? He doesn't improve his lap time. He remains in 9th position. Aaron Marr is on a lap on the soft tyres, a fraction down in the first sector. He was out on softs in the first run. Only 2 cars at the moment in the top 10 are on the soft tyres. That was Real Joker and JTM, who's out on track as we speak. And just started his lap. Let's see what Aaron Marr's doing. He's had his lap disallowed in the middle part of the lap. Oh, very wide there at turn 9. That's where we saw Adam Woods crash out in the first part of qualifying. Ross has gone back out on the same set of medium tyres. And he's had his lap disallowed here as JDM. So he's not going to improve. He's backed right out of it. So it's very, very close though. Once again, if you look at those lap times, half a second covering the top 4. And then it's again very, very close in at the midfield. Aqua Ninjas heading out on track on a set of softs. Brand new set of soft tyres. There he is. In the Williams. and he get himself into the top 10 in qualifying. Goes through turn 5. He's on his out lap, so is Ross. And Vital Options now also headed out on track in the Ferrari. Brand new set of soft tyres for him. So I think he'll be a little bit disappointed, quite a bit slower than his teammate on the same tyres. About a second and a half off his teammate. They've been pretty close in terms of pace, the two Ferraris. But Vital Option feeling the need to get a set of soft tyres on for this second run in Q2. Guaranteed place in Q3. At the moment, the top 6 all still in the pit lane. JDM half a second up in the first sector on his previous best. Let's see how he does in the middle sector as he moves down to Capta. About 0.4 of a second up. That would move him to around the top 5 at the moment. Might just 4 cars have done so far. Down to the final chicane. His teammate is quickest at 162 at the moment. And here comes JDM round the last corner, and he moves up into 5th place, a 1:17.0 for him. Vital Option just started his lap. Here is Ross. Coming through the last couple of corners. I said he's gone out on the same set of medium tyres into his first run. Can he improve on his current 8th position? His teammate is 3rd. And he does indeed. He moves up into 5th position at also a 1:17.0. So look at that, 3 cars there, all within the same 10th of a second. Here is Vital Option. Oh, he's had his lap disallowed. Just run a little bit too wide at that quick chicane. This lap's disallowed. White African's headed out on a set of soft tyres as well to his first run on mediums. Because we saw him make a mistake somewhere and he's done a 1:22.3, so he's going to be looking to try and get himself into the top 10 in this qualifying session. He's 4 seconds up in the middle part of the lap on his previous best. So that would put him there or thereabouts with the bottom end of the field. But I can't help feeling he did really push in the final sector of his previous lap. So I think he will probably jump up a little bit more yet. As here he comes round the last corner and across the line, and he does a 1:16.7 and moves into 5th position. So good lap time for him. That knocks, at the moment, Vital Oxygen out of the session. Aaron Moll 4/10 down in the first sector. He only needs to find a 10th of a second. This goes to show just how competitive this field is. Only a 10th of a second would put him into the top 10, and he's on a slower lap here. Vital Options found a 10th and a half. He's in 11th place at the moment. 2 minutes to go in this session. And Vital Option is improving. Real Joker and Molina Coach both out on soft tyres. They know they're going to have to improve. They're under pressure, 9th and 10th at the moment. Steve's not looking particularly safe either. Vital Option a 1/4 of a second up now in the middle part of the lap. So this would put him 10th at the moment. So he would just about be through. As he comes through the final chicane, Vital Option goes round the last corner. Where does this lift him up to? A 1:17.0. He goes 8th. So another one into the 1:17.0. Aqua Ninjas is a 1/4 of a second up on his previous best. Into the first sector, a little bit wide there, going through the quick chicane. Slight confidence lift through turn 9 as he comes down to 2, and he's 1/3 of a second up. A 1:17.3 at the moment is enough to see him through. Molina Coach is out on a lap as well, a little bit down in the first sector on his previous best. Real Joker's 10th down, 10th up in his first sector. There is his teammate right in front of him, moving out of his way. Let's go back to Aqua Ninjas. He does improve, but not quite by enough. He remains 11th at the moment. Here is Molina Coach in the middle sector, 1/4 of a second up. That would put him through just, I think, at the moment. Ferrari moving nicely out of his way. That was Vital Option. Steve and JDM have both gone out. They don't feel safe. We've got 30 seconds to go, less than, in this session. Here comes Molina Coach now through the last corner. He's been in Q3 in every race he's competed in so far, and he goes into 9th place. And Vital Option has retired in the last corner. Vital Option's crashed in the last corner. And Aaron Mar on an outlap. And 23rd Nebula is pitting. He's not going to get through. Aqua Ninjas now coming through the last couple of corners. I don't think he's going to make it through either. And yes, he's had his lap disallowed. And Real Joker's spun. Real Joker's spun down at turn 4. And he's out of the session as well. And I think that is it now for everyone. Because Aqua Ninjas, Aaron Mark, 23rd Nebula, they're all in the pits. So these guys are currently out on the soft tyres. They don't need to complete the laps. They can just choose to not complete the laps. Steve's on a slightly better lap. Molina Coach has had his lap disallowed. Will Steve and JDM decide? No, JDM's backed right out of it. And so is Steve. And decided to give us some donuts at the end of Q2 there. So the car's out of the session. 23rd Nebula, Aaron Mar, Aqua Ninjas, and Real Joker. But Vital Option crashed at the end of the session. He is going to be 10th on the grid. That is guaranteed. And Real Joker crashed out as well, trying to improve on his lap time. So let's see if we can get one of these guys who were knocked out. Let's speak to 23rd Nebula, because as I said, I know he was very confident going into this weekend, so I think he will be especially disappointed to not be able to make it through. And Simon has joined us. Just make sure your audio is included, mate, so everyone can hear you. Hello, Simon. Hello, Simon, can you hear me? Hello. Unlucky there, mate. 14th on the grid. I know you're quite confident going into this weekend, but it certainly is. And we've seen quite a few cars going off down there at turn 9 especially. Is it quite slippery out there, the track conditions? And yeah, very unlucky, mate. What's your hopes going into the race from there? I mean, it gives you free choice of tyres for the race, which we've seen a few times this season has been a bit of an advantage. So it's not all bad starting down there in 14th. Excellent. Well, unlucky there, mate, but I hope you have a good race, and I hope we talk to you later on. So, Staffy Love and Molina very disappointed, but through to Q3. So all positive. Yes, indeed. Yet again, Molina Coach has made it into Q3. Every race he's competed in this season, he's been in the top 10 in qualifying. So Vital Option, as I said, is going to be 10th on the grid. So we have 9 competing Q3. We lose another 3 minutes off the time. Anyone who's made it through to Q3 gets an extra set of soft tyres as well to help them out. Of course, some of those did qualify on the medium tyres as well, so they also have an extra set of soft tyres available to them, just to give them a little bit of an advantage. And the first car out is Meat Burl in the Mercedes. So we have both Mercedes through, both Renaults through, and both Alfa Romeos through to Q3. Both Ferraris did as well, but as I said, Michael Oxen crashed out. We've got a Haas through with Mackenzie and also an Alpha Tauri with Malinico. Those are the cars that are through. Now, as I said, 12-minute session. Everyone expects Steve is now out on the racetrack. And we've seen some brilliant Q3s so far this season. Very, very close. Anyone watching on the Twitch chat, put your predictions in. Who do you think is going to snatch pole position here? Just looking at the pace so far this evening. Who do you think will take that pole position? Kyle's taken 3 out of the first 4 pole positions. But could there be someone new at the pole position tonight? So Meatbell now starting his lap. Steve is now out on track, so we have all 9 drivers out on the racetrack. As one of the Kyle goes through as well. We haven't actually seen much of Kyle so far. Let's have a look at him. Current World Championship leader. There he is in the Renault. I know he was disappointed to not take pole position despite winning the race at Zandvoort. He was disappointed not to keep his qualifying record going. So let's have a look. The lap time's going to come in quick and fast here. I'll try and keep on top of them as much as I can. Oh, and Meatball's had his first lap disallowed. He ran a little bit wide there at turn 9 and almost lost the car. So his first lap disallowed. Aquaman just go Meatball. Well, unlucky there, mate. Bad timing. He almost crashed it. So Kyle is going to be the first one to send a lap time across the line. Let's see what he can do. Hasn't looked massively quick so far this evening, but maybe he's just sandbagging a little bit, saving it all for Q3. Let's see what he can do through the last corner. He does a 1:15.7. That's a good lap time there. Here comes Ross. 1:16.9. As White African goes second. Oh, and that's JTM off the racetrack at the second to last corner in the Mercedes. So Ross has gone forward. Mackenzie goes second. Here comes Maglox across the line. He goes up to 5th. So Steve now coming through. JTM did complete his lap. And that could have just a close one for me, but it certainly was. Very, very nearly lost the car. So JTM did complete his lap, but we saw him make a mistake there. So he's done quite a slow lap, but he's going again. Here comes Steve now across the line. And he goes up to 4. So the 2 Alfa Romeos very, very close in terms of pace. And they're 3rd and 4th on the grid. But Kyle Mabon at the moment, fastest by a country mile, 0.8 of a second clear at the top of the field. Can anyone get near to him? Here is JTM on his second flying lap of this session. Meatball's gone straight back out on racetrack. And JTM on a good lap here. Where is this going to put him? There's quite a big gap between first and second. Will he try and put the car in there if he can? Into the last corner. As Mackenzie's retired from the session, so he feels he's done all he can with that car. As JDM does a 1:17.2 and is 8th quickest at the moment. 6.5 minutes to go. Here this evening for pole position. Meatball, he's on a lap now. Just about to start his flying lap. Quite a short racetrack here, so with the 12-minute session, you can 3 runs in. He's doing what Meatball does and going straight back out again. So let's see how he gets on. Can he get himself anywhere near Kyle and give him a little bit here tonight? The 2 Alfa Romeos, they will be delighted with that. Their team's sitting 5th at the moment in the Constructors' Championship, just 2 points behind Red Bull. Neither Red Bull into Q3. So it's looking pretty strong at the moment for Alfa Romeo to get into at least 4th in the Constructors. They're 25 points at the moment behind Racing Point, and neither Racing Point's in the top 10 either. So it could be a very, very good day indeed as it stands for Alfa Romeo. Let's see where Meatball can go on his lap. Kept it on the road this time down at turn 9. This lap hasn't been disallowed. He goes through the final chicane. Then the flat out last corner, and Meatball goes fastest. Look at that, miles quicker than Kyle. A 1:15.1. Those two are looking super, super quick. As one of the Renaults is heading out on track, that's Ross. So that is a very good pole position time at the moment. Could we see a 1:14 around here? That would be incredible if we did. They're getting very close to it. So 4.5 minutes to go in this session. As I said, Ross is out on the racetrack now. Can he get himself any higher up? He's 6th at the moment, but a fraction behind Steve in the Alfa Romeo. One of the Mercedes, that's JDM, is heading out on racetrack now, and so is one of the Alfa Romeos as well. Both Alfa Romeos through this session. And his White African heading out on track. 4th on the grid at the moment, would be his best qualifying of the season. Aqua Ninjas, what a lap. It certainly was there from Meatball. 5.5 tenths quicker than Kyle. That is a very, very good benchmark lap time. And I think a lot of people struggle to get anywhere near that here this evening. Let's see what Ross can do with Renault. 6th at the moment. He claw his way up the grid. Through the first couple of corners. I don't know if there's any drivers on watching at the moment, but if there is, could you just give me a race forecast? Weather forecast. Yet to have a wet race so far this season. A little bit of rain in qualifying in China. But I don't know if anyone is watching. Just give me that weather forecast. As Ross has had his lap disallowed. So he is not going to improve on the lap. ADM is the next one through. And Drab saying it's a dry race. So I think a lot of the drivers will be very, very pleased about that. Thank you for that, Drab. So Ross had his lap disallowed. So JDM is the next one. Maglock's on a lap now as well. And it won't be long. We've got Molina Coach about to start his lap. As I think Ross is diving into the pit lane. And so is White African. So not sure what happened there with him, but he's also dived in with 2 minutes to go in this session. They might just have enough time to get another set of tyres on and dive out of the pits. Let's see how JDM's doing in the middle sector compared to his best. Half a second up, that would move him up to, that'll be knocking on the door of row 2, that, if he keeps that kind of pace up. Looking like a much better lap for JDM in the Mercedes. Oh, he's gone wide at turn 12, that will cost him some time. He'll be kicking himself about that because he was on so much better lap. Comes through the last corner, he was half a second up. Does improve, he's lost a little bit of time, but 6th quickest, so 1:16.9. Here goes Maglock. Maglock goes 3rd, 16.2. Molina Coach has had his lap disallowed. So next one is Meatball. He is on an out lap at the moment. Steve is out there. And Molina Coach, I think, trying to save fuel, trying to make sure that he can get another lap in. We're into the last minute of the session. As long as you cross the line before the timer goes 0, you'll be able to do a flying lap. For those currently in the pits will not improve. So that's Kyle in second, White African 5th. Mackenzie, of course, as well in 4th place. White African's now retired from the session. Let's see what Molina Coach is doing. A 10th and a half up in the first part of the lap. What about Meatball? Is he improving anymore? He's a couple of tenths down in the first part of the lap. Maglock's on a slowing down lap. As JDM moves up to 4th, he has improved a lot more. A 1:16.2. Great lap there from the second Mercedes. Session is now over. Steve just started his lap, with seconds to spare. So he will be able to complete this lap. Here comes Molina Coach through the last couple of corners. Can he improve? He's 9th at the moment. He goes up to 7th. A 1:16.7 for him. Here comes, and Meatball's had his lap disallowed, but I think he's looking pretty safe there in pole position. Here comes Steve. Few tenths down in the first sector. Oh, and he spun it. Steve's completely gone in turn 9, where we've seen a lot of cars spinning. And that is the end of qualifying. Steve has crashed out. So Meatball, for the second race in a row, takes pole position ahead of Kyle Mabon. Maglock's 3rd. JDM 4th. Another front 2 rows for Maglock. His qualifying pace has been so consistent this season. JDM on his return is 4th. Mackenzie, and yet another good qualifying for him. He's in 5th. White African, very happy on the Twitch chat. He's out-qualified Steve. He's 6th. Molina Coach 7th. Another good qualifying for him. Steve is 8th and Ross in 9th position. Let's get Meatball in for a chat. Let's get him in for a chat. Pole position man here for the Spanish Grand Prix. And we have been joined by Meatball. If you just make sure your audio is included, please, mate, so everyone can hear you on the screen. Can you hear me, mate? Hello? Hello. Pole position there, mate, by over half a second. You must be delighted with that. Yeah, definitely. And, well, Carl seems a little bit off the pace here today, but it's really you two really dominating the field here this evening, isn't it? Are you expecting a challenge maybe from anyone else throughout the race?